Yeah, the juxtaposition of it all, Alex, a celebration marked with tragedy, the beauty of the morning marked with such a somber state right now. So clearly this is going to be a community in mourning instead of celebrating here on this Lunar New Year. And what strikes me is I see a bakery behind me, that should be bustling right now with people coming out to get pastries to mark the Lunar New Year, perhaps for their families, to give out those red envelopes full of fortune, to pass on good fortune and prosperity on this day of Lunar New Year, to welcome in the Year of the Rabbit. But yet we're marked with this perimeter, law enforcement officials here, the FBI, along with Monterey Park Police, as well as the Sheriff's Department. You could take a look at the ground shot right here, and this is just right around the corner from the Star Ballroom Dance Studio where the shooting happened last night at around 10:22. And just to give you a sense of the two locations we're talking about here in Monterey Park where the shooting happened, and then Alhambra where there is an investigation going on as well, it's just about a 6-minute drive or so, less than 10 minutes to get between the two heavily populated Asian American cities, communities. This is an area where you see a lot of the business signs, they're all written in Chinese with Chinese characters. The predominant population here, more than 60% Asian American, both here in Monterey Park and in Alhambra. So just giving you the sense of what we're talking about in terms of a community coming together to celebrate Lunar New Year. We're expecting hundreds of thousands of people to come out for this 2-day-long Lunar New Year celebration. If we could just show you some of the local businesses here. Again, the signs that we're talking about written in Chinese. This is the most celebrated holiday for the Asian American population here. Monterey Park and Alhambra. You see the pop-up tents, all those white tents right there for the vendors that were going to be out here celebrating, selling their goods, passing out food perhaps, and just being part of the community, being a place to celebrate, for families to come together. The red lanterns hanging for this momentous occasion, marking the first of the year for so many in this community. And just to know the gravity and the impact that this has, and just the symbolism of the tragedy on such an important holiday, is just really nerve-wracking and devastating. It really just shakes the community to the core, knowing that on a day where they should be able to celebrate the marking of prosperity and good luck and good fortune coming in, instead they're going to be mourning the loss of so many lives here, families forever changed, and also just the victims that are also in the hospital and the long road of recovery that they will be facing as well. And keep in mind, again, this investigation is just getting underway. There's a lot to piece together in terms of the FBI here and local law enforcement, figuring out the timeline, figuring out what, as you mentioned, Alex, where the guns were purchased, whether they were legal, who is this suspect, where is he now, and also, of course, the motive. But it's just such a stark juxtaposition, the side-by-side where you see what was supposed to be a celebratory day marked with this just complete and eerie silence right now. Not a lot of people coming out. It's just like in any community when on a Sunday morning you should be able to go get a box of donuts. This bakery cannot even be open for business because of the fact that tragedy has struck this community. But you see the law enforcement officials still gathering here, doing their work, collecting evidence, starting this investigation. That's the scene right here in Monterey Park. And just a 5-minute walk from here is where the Monterey Park City Hall is. And we are expecting all of those local officials to gather in less than 30 minutes right now to give us the official update we've been waiting for at 8 o'clock, the latest on the investigation and what they know, what they can tell us in terms of what exactly happened here and how they are piecing this all together. So again, that's happening in just about half an hour or so, in a few blocks away from here, actually, from the crime scene in Monterey Park. That is where we are going to hear from Sheriff Robert Luna, as well as other officials here from Monterey Park. park. But of course, we'll keep you up to date with that and bring that to you live as it happens. But taking a look on from our perspective, you can see the work is getting underway. Obviously, has never stopped since this all happened. But again, the investigation certainly going to be a lengthy one here at the scene of Garvey and Garfield.
It's interesting. That's something that just keeps sticking with me, that this was supposed to be a happy time.
Absolutely, and you heard from the mayor of Westminster, I believe you had live on the air right there, but you know, all the other communities throughout Southern California and the nation really celebrating Lunar New Year today. They will be in the back of their minds thinking about how safe is this going to be? What do we need to do to protect our communities to make sure nothing like this happens again? And you heard from the mayor of Westminster saying that they are on heightened alert. They're going to bring in extra security, and that's what many communities are waking up to today, thinking about the fact that, yes, there may need to be added security given the fact that so many people are going to be congregating together in one location to celebrate this traditional holiday. So that is something to be very aware of as families go out. You know, hopefully they will think about how to keep each other safe and protect the community. But it's certainly something nobody wanted to think about as they woke up this morning to celebrate Lunar New Year. And again, this is such a family event. Lunar New Year is always a celebration of bringing people together, bringing families together, you know, the elderly passing on wisdom and goodwill and good luck to the young. You see those traditional red envelopes given out from businesses, also from family members to children and to single young folks, you know, and it is just, you know, marked now with so many celebrations across the Southland going to start off their Lunar New Year celebrations in a moment of silence.